This is my method for doing the level 130 raid target for what I consider to be acceptable repair. Hey everyone, Derpy here, and welcome back to another Battle Pirates video. Starting out here, I have my steelhead screw on my fully built, pretty much, U1/U2 fleet. I'm going to stack everything up and go from there. Once they're stacked up, I'm going to target this first turret, which is a fairly short range turret. You can outrange it just about as long as you press the down arrow early and stop before your ship actually wants it to stop. Once this is down here, I'm going to immediately move in really close to the next turret right here, the harpoon, which does have a minimum range, although I can't quite tell if I am under the minimum range or not. Next up, I'm going to move to the next harpoon turret and try and get there fairly quickly to avoid delays, so you are inside the minimum range of this one, which you actually can get in. Notice I also took out another couple of silos here, which blasted and took away a whole bunch of things in the target, which is great. Next up, I do have this random building here. I have been seeing that even a U1, U2 fleet with just the Pierce does go through this mountain here. You just saw that on video. Pierce goes through the mountain, or at least that's what it looks like to me. Next up, I have this phlogiston launcher. To kill this one, I'm going to go on the outside of the target. My personal flag is built as an evade tank with guidance scrambler 3/agility 4 on it. So I'm going to move close to that and take this one out. I won't try and get inside the range of the harpoons though. I like to do things a little bit differently here. So get really close to this one, and it does have pretty high health, so it does take a little while to go down. And try and keep your evade tank really close to the front. Then I'm going to blast one of these silos here, and that takes out a whole bunch of things here, a whole bunch of harpoons, so it's pretty easy from there. At this point, I'm going to again put my evade tank a little bit further forward so that actually takes the damage from the harpoon and it doesn't hit the back four ships, and charge them pretty close here. Then when I am close, I'm going to hit the phlogiston launcher first because I find that does more damage, and stop right about here. After this one's dead, or at least after it's just about dead and the last salvo's in the air, I can shift click the next one, that is the regular harpoon just right next to it. I can't get a minimum range of this one because this turret right next to it, the phlogiston launcher, or this is actually a thrower, excuse me, has too short of a range. I'm going to deselect the flagship and move them all a little bit closer here so that everything's shooting at it at once, and then loop around to the next phlogiston launcher. Approaching it from the south is a little bit more dangerous than approaching it from the north. Just be very careful about actually stopping. You can see it shouldn't even be firing at this point. It looks like the range circle isn't even touching the turret. Once you're here, you're going to again put the flagship tank a little bit ahead of everything else here so it doesn't take too much damage, but leave it close to everything else here within about 40 range and blast that last turret. This last turret should go down, especially if you're in minimum range. It goes down pretty quickly here. And using this method with a U1/U2 fleet, and I actually am missing one weapon and one ship here, but everything else is fully built here. I should have the target complete, just another random building to pick up here. Be careful you don't miss anything, and be careful you never get into range of the fuel silos. They do have a tendency to hurt you more than a little bit. Looking at the battle report, you can see I took more ballistic damage from things like the harpoons and less radioactive damage because I took no damage from the throwers and evaded most of the damage from the phlogiston launchers. And if you're interested in all the damage I did was ballistic, and they do have pretty high ballistic resist. 27 minutes damage, which isn't bad. When I go into base, I can remove the first ship and everything else is at under 5 minutes repair time, so all of this should be instant repair. Once you repair those 4-back ships, you have 10 minutes and 44 seconds worth of damage. Here is my standard build that I am running, and this is just the normal Gladius build. The flagship does have the 1 slot shifted. Instead of fast feed magazine, I have guidance scrambler 3. I do have a full video on my build for this thing. I'm planning on upgrading the flagship to X1 as quickly as possible, and then the back 4 ships will just go up to U3 and stop about there. And again, I am running a steelhead screw. Anyway, I hope this video helped. If it did, go ahead and share it with somebody else, and you can also leave a comment below asking any questions. I do these videos to help you, so I want to answer your questions. Anyway, this is Derpy, signing out, helping you be a better pirate.